Today we will do a main course together for week 6. We will talk about models of obligation: must, have to, should, and ought to. We are using these models for obligation or strong recommendation. We use must and have to say that is necessary to do something. Let's look at this example. Well, it's 11 o'clock. I must or have to go now. I have a meeting at 11:30. So we use must and have to express our obligations. And the grammar structure is easy. We just put subject and then we use must or have to, and then we use the verb one. Now you know that we use must and have to for our obligations, but there is a difference between them. With must, the speakers are given their own feelings, saying what they think is necessary. For example, I must send an email to Liz. I haven't written to her since Christmas. So, you see here we are giving an opinion and personal feeling. I must study English if I want to pass the exam. Again, we see a personal feeling, a personal opinion. Now, let's look at have to. With have to, the speakers are not given their feelings. They are just given facts. With have to, we do not express our feelings. We are expressing just the facts as they are. For example, I can't come on Saturday. I have to work. It's an obligation, it's a fact. Students have to wear uniforms at this school. This is a fact. This is not our feeling or our opinion. This is a fact. It's a rule. There is also a side note that we need to talk about here. We can only use must to talk about the present and the future. For example, we must go now. We are talking about present. You must be on time tomorrow. We are talking about future. But when it comes to have to, we can use it in all forms. I had to leave the party early because I felt ill. You see, here we have the past form of have to. It is had to. What do I have to do to get a degree in economics? And here we have the present simple. So with must, we can use it in present and future, but with have to, we can use it in all forms. For example, for the past, it becomes had to. Let's look at some more examples. Keep fit. Do you think we should use it with must or have to? Let's see. You must keep fit because it's an opinion, it's a feeling. Put the rubbish in the bin. Shall we use it with have to or must? You must put the rubbish in the bin. Again, it's a feeling, it's an opinion. Speak English in class. What do you think? You must speak English in class. Again, it's a personal feeling. Pay taxes. What do you think? Is it a feeling or an opinion? You have to pay taxes because it's a rule, it's a fact. Now, I think you understand the difference between must and have to more clearly. Have a passport to travel to Africa. You have to have a passport to travel to Africa. This is again an obligation, a fact. This is not our feeling. This is a fact. This is a rule that we have to apply. Now, we talked about obligation. Now, let's talk about prohibition. We use mustn't to express prohibition. For example, you mustn't tell anyone what I said. It means it is prohibited that you do it. You mustn't smoke. For example, you mustn't smoke in the classroom. It is prohibited. Eat junk food. You mustn't eat junk food. Use your phone. You mustn't use your phone. For example, you mustn't use your phone while driving. Sleep in class. You mustn't sleep in class. Now, let's talk about absence of obligation. With absence of obligation, we need to use don't have to. Don't have to do something means it is not necessary to do it. There is no obligation, there is no necessity. For example, I can stay in bed tomorrow because I don't have to go to school. If tomorrow is Sunday, it means you don't have to go to school because it's not necessary. Get up early at the weekends. If you are not working, if you are not going to school at the weekends, there is no obligation, there is no necessity for you to wake up early. So, you don't have to get up early at the weekends. And the grammar structure again is very simple. We use don't have to. And with he, she, it, we use doesn't have to. Work on holiday. You don't have to work on holiday. There is no obligation, there is no necessity. Now let's talk about advice or opinion. We use should and ought to give advice or say what you think is a good or bad thing to do. Let's look at this example. You shouldn't smoke as much or so much. Again, the grammar structure is very easy. We have the subject, we have should or shouldn't, and we have the verb. Cyclists should wear a helmet. Should and ought to are very similar and can often replace each other, but should is much more frequent than ought to. So we use should most of the time, but it is important for you to know that ought to is the same with should. You can't replace should with ought to. Take warm clothes if you go to Dublin. We can express this advice with should. You should take warm clothes if you go to Dublin in winter. Drink so much coffee. Again, we can express this advice with ought to or should. You shouldn't drink so much coffee. And that was the end of the lesson. Thank you very much.